what they're trying to do is take away all of this and put it in one spot. So I can log into Apple Podcasts. You log into Apple Podcasts. We have like a Zoom interface. At the same time, it's recording it and separating the audio. And then after it's done recording, I put in all the metadata and then it releases it right to Apple Podcasts. So it like would take away pretty much everything. Wouldn't have to have you don't have to have a website. You don't have to have YouTube. You don't have to have Zoom. You
You
could
don't
do it
have
all in
to
Apple
house it
Podcast.
somewhere. It just lives in
Yeah.
Apple Podcast.
Yep. They have it all the,
Interesting.
and they insert ads into the audio and video. They're working
Really?
with companies to do dynamic ads too.
And
I
then
think it's pretty
would it
cool.
feed to any other podcast listener as well? That's the thing.
I think it still would because
Would?
they have like an open API, like all those
Yeah.
other pod apps
You'd upload
just,
that link to
yes.
the other
Yep. They
places.
just take the
Okay.
RSS to it. So it sounds
Hmm.
pretty cool to me. I mean, the
Yeah.
YouTube has been fun. We don't have a million people. I mean, YouTube's a different thing, like
Right.
really short form, but I thought that was pretty cool that they're doing that.
That is interesting.
Um, all right, let me bring up the notes again there and everything. And here we go. Let's start our podcast. All right, welcome back, everyone. Podcast Winterfell presents Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Season 1, Episode 5, In the Name of the Mother. My name is Axel. You can check us out at dvrpodcast.com or become a patron at patreon.com/DVR. Today with me is, of course, Gina. Gina, how are you doing?
Doing well. Thank you, Axel. How are you today?
I'm I'm still kind of shaken from this episode because I just
Mhm.
watched it today and I'm looking forward to talking about it. And our guest this week is, of course, someone who's been with us many times. We've done a ton of shows together. Most recently, we were talking about The White Lotus and also our top 10 TV shows of the year, which, by the way, Andy and I think either tomorrow or Wednesday are going to do the listener top TV shows of the year. So
Nice.
that should be fun.
Cool.
It's Jenny. Jenny, how are you?
I am good. It's good to be here. I was so excited when you asked me to be on this week because I hadn't realized it was the penultimate episode, which kind of like, in the Game of Thrones verse, uh, the penultimate episode lots of times winds up being the big climatic or most
Yep.
climatic part of the season. But also after last week, the way it ended, I knew what was coming this week because I have read the novellas. So I was really, really excited. So thanks for having me on.
Of course. Of course. Now that's funny you should say that because I did not remember what was going to happen.
Me either.
I only remembered the thing
Um,
that happened at the very end. I remembered
okay.
that happened.
I
And
think
that was what I knew was coming. I knew it was the trial of seven, so it was going to be a big.
so. You mean you remembered Baelor dying, but you didn't
Yes.
remember anything else?
I didn't remember all the rest of the
Okay.
the trial.
Okay.
I remembered that it was okay at the end, but
Yeah.
that Baelor died,
Did
yes.
it? I may be in my mind somewhere. I knew because I just had that feeling. I think I may have mentioned a little
I
bit.
I thought
What
you
did you
knew
say?
because last week you're
Yes,
like
you gave it away.
I don't know. I'm really worried about Baylor.
I
And I was like,
was, yeah. Maybe in my
I
mind I
thought
knew
for
that.
sure you knew.
But also, you know what? It's like this episode kind of like remind anyone who was under the mistaken impression that you weren't watching a show set in Westeros made by some crazy dude from Bayonne. Now you know it because everybody has to die. The
Yeah,
tragedy has to happen. You knew that Rafe, his little friend, I knew immediately
I
when I
know.
saw her that she was going to die. And then as soon as we met the guy, I was like, he's going to fucking kill her right in front of him. And of course, that's what happened. Like everything, it brings. It was. I was saying to my wife, it's kind of like how Game of Thrones kind of hid the magic. It slowly rolled out the magic on you. It's like this show kind of slowly rolled out the plot and the stakes. And then all of a sudden you get this episode where it's so emotional. You're like, what the heck is going on?
Mhm.
It just takes over. I don't know. This was really something for me. I think this was one of the best episodes of TV that I've seen in a really long time.
Well, and this is the most violence we have seen to date, which I think the fact that we got this far into the season with there not being too much violence, and then they
Yeah.
just like poured it on us. I was like, ah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Your first impressions? Any expanding on that, Jenny?
No, I really enjoyed it as well. I mean, like I said, I knew it was going to be the big trial of seven. I knew, how it was going to end for Baylor. Uh, but it just was a lot. And it was very, like you said, it was emotional. And I did kind of like the beats with going back to, seeing his part of his backstory with his friend Rafe or girlfriend or whatever. I think just his friend. They were very close and that was sad, but it was like it was nice little interlude, so it wasn't all battle, but that was pretty violent too. I was worried about you,
Yeah.
Axel. I was worried about you because I know you don't like blood. And I was like, this is a
Well,
lot of
my
blood.
no, well, you know what? I should say, look, I don't like hospitals.
Well, I know.
That's what I don't
None of
like.
those in
I don't like,
Westeros.
yeah, I don't like kind of like blood and like kind of the hospital thing, but I can
And you don't want
take,
to smell like hospital either, do you?
yes. Oh, no. Ew. Ew,
I
no.
know.
Ma'am,
Mary
Cosby
was
I
will
right
tell
know.
you
about
about
that.
it.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I think that for me it's more so the real stuff that gets me. So when I watch something like it's not I can watch a lot of blood and gore and like horror
Yeah.
movies. It's the real thing. Like when it's in a hot wow, that thing is kind of freaky. The
Isn't
zoom thing.
Oh, I don't know
Jenny
why I
just
just did
all
that.
you
She
did
wasn't
was kind of
talking.
move your
I
yeah, all
know.
you
I
did
didn't
was like
even
move
really
your
move. I
head a little.
noticed
It
it
was
did
like,
it too.
ooh,
I'm like, why did
kind
it
of
do
funny.
that? I didn't even move.
But what was I saying? Yeah, this did not, no, it was very visceral though. That it didn't bother me at but it was very visceral and I really do think kind of slow rolling the plot, slow rolling the stakes was a really smart idea because people enter this world in particular thinking that it's the grandest stakes, right? Because I mean, in the original Game of Thrones, it's like winter is coming, the whole world's going to end, you know? It's pretty big
Hmm.
stakes. And then this starts
Hmm.
off so slow. And then by the time you get to this, it's just like freaking shattering.
Yeah.
It really takes you away. And I was gonna say, what was her name? Rafe. Her name is Clolia.
I would
Um,
say maybe it's Chloe Leah.
Chloe Leah. Okay, I always fuck that up. I can never get Chloe and Chloe. But she was in
Foundation.
Foundation,
And
yes,
Dune
and
Prophecy.
Dune, yes. That's what I was
Because
gonna
I looked her
say.
up earlier. I was like, where do I
Yeah.
know her from? And then I saw Foundation. I was like, oh, that's what I know her from.
Yep, totally, totally. I thought that was very. That's kind of cool when someone already so young, and believe it or not, she's 20 because I think they're playing pretty much, they're playing a lot younger than that, right? How old do you think they are? 15 or 16?
I thought they were like 12.
That's what I was
12
gonna
or
Oh,
say.
13.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they look
okay.
very
Yeah.
young.
Okay,
And
I
sh
think
and
it's a
this
little old.
and
Okay.
that actress is only like 5'1". She's very tiny.
Yeah, she is pretty tiny.
Yeah.
Um, really? So I get, oh, okay. I thought they were
Actually,
a little
I
bit
don't
younger than that.
is she actually that old?
Yeah, I just looked her up.
Okay.
Unless I was looking up the wrong thing.
And they're
She's
just saying
20.
she got her big break at 9 years old. Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Chloe Leah.
Wow. I
Imagine,
never would have guessed that.
imagine that, Gina, your big break at 9 years old,
I know. That's why I was like,
right?
really? Yeah, she's 20. Okay. Wow.
Um, uh, All right, so let's jump into the episode. I was saying before we probably won't do too much of like go straight through everything, but it is a little bit easier to kind of at least kind of watch go along, look at the shots too as we're talking. One thing I did want to mention, I don't know the name of one of the seven that was fighting for Dunk, the guy with the yellow and the yellow mustache. You know who I'm
Uh,
talking about? Did you notice the yellow mustache on him?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Did you notice that, Gina?
it's probably the Beesbury guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it is. But that reminds me of how in the books doesn't aren't a lot of the hair colors and
You know,
eyes and skin tone like things are a lot crazier
I think it's,
in the
yeah, there's a
books,
lot of
right?
more Tyroshi influence during this time. And, that's something we never saw in the regular Game of Thrones is
Hmm.
like, like I think, oh God, who is the guy
Stuff that
she
came over from
hooked,
Essos.
who is
Yeah.
the guy she hooked up with,
Oh,
Daenerys hooked up with? What was his name? I can't even remember. Not
Dario
Which
Naharis.
Dario
Oh,
Naharis
Dario.
was
I
supposed to
thought you
have
meant
like
okay.
purple or green hair
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
books,
It
and
was supposed to
they,
be some bright color.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've never done that. And I guess maybe they're doing it a little bit now, but there were supposed to be many other characters with just like punk ass colored hair, that never materialized, or they chose not to do that, unfortunately.
I kind of like that. I kind of like it reminds me a little bit of even if you add it a little bit later, it reminds me kind of like when George Lucas did the prequels, he made things a little bit more ornate that maybe he didn't have the money or design for in the first three, like
Is that
which
why Amidala looked like that?
I think it is. He had his ideas to have things be kind of very different looking, but I kind of dig that. But
Yeah.
yeah, wow. I think that's kind of cool when they add those aspects. We also get another thing I wanted to mention because we had talked about it a little bit before is we get a mention of this is in the flashback to when we're seeing Rafe and Dunk, which is we got to mention to the Blackfire rebellions
Yeah.
Hmm.
and the because I had previously asked what that big black dragon represented
Hmm.
because there were no dragons. So now we know that that was Daemon, who, so I guess the Blackfire Rebellion was when Aegon the Fourth legitimized his heirs, his
Hmm.
bastard heirs on his deathbed,
Yeah. And made
creating
them
a
the great
scram
bastards. Yes.
yeah, and created a
Mhm.
scramble for the throne. And one of those people, the person who was the legitimate Targaryen, I think was also named Daemon, like what we're seeing. I think it's the same name as in House of the Dragon, right? And he was the
Hmm.
Black Dragon. Though he did not, they didn't, there were no dragons involved at this point, were there?
No, I
There
don't
were no
think so.
dragons involved in it. He was just
Yeah.
called the Black Dragon. So even in, it makes it more understandable why we see the play happening, like what that
Yeah.
Hmm.
represents, right? So
Yeah, and he
the
was called Blackfire because his father gave him the sword Blackfire, and he took that on as his bastard name instead of being whatever the ones in King's Landing would have been called. Um,
Targaryen.
no,
Oh,
the bastard names. I
yeah.
don't remember what the anyway.
Yeah.
Um, he took on the name Blackfire, and yeah, so that's where that all
oh, you
came
mean
from.
because the bastards, it's like where they're from, right? Like
Yeah.
sand or
Sand
Sand
and
snow
or
or
snow
whatever,
and
Rivers.
right?
I think
River,
there
yeah.
might be Rivers because Gentry was a Rivers and he was from King's Landing. So
Okay, that's
might be
interesting.
Rivers.
That
Yeah.
area. Every area that depending on what area you're from is what your last name is as a bastard.
Yeah.
pretty
That's
much, yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Um, you can continue.
Oh
Sorry,
no, I was
that's
just
my little.
saying, I think that's interesting because for some people you hear the name and the talk of the dragon, and I think some people might think it's referencing House of the Dragon, but
Right.
it's not.
And
It's
it's a
referencing a
different
whole other
Damon.
thing.
Yeah.
But
Just like there's a lot of Aegons, there's a
yeah,
lot of
Yeah.
Damons.
A lot of
there's a ton.
amens. And you
Mhm,
know how we were just talking about the Tyroshi and their dyed hair?
mhm.
Um, Damon Blackfire was married to Rohan of Tyrosh. So maybe that was a style since she was kind of like this, another queen with a different style from a different land type of thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
interesting. Interesting stuff. I was going to say, because that also plays into the themes of like the anti-Targaryen, the Targaryens being the oppressors that we're seeing in the show already, right? Like when there was almost a riot last episode, because that whole thing of legitimizing your bastards, those bastards are considered more Westerosi than they are Targaryen, right? Like more of the people.
Hmm.
So for them to fail, which is what occurred there, right, is kind of like a put down to the people in a sense. So it's like it reestablishes the Targaryen reign, and so it's just a reminder of the world that they live in here,
Hmm.
where and it also that's why I think it's so cool because that also kind of ups the stakes in what you're watching when you're seeing who's involved in this battle here, which are
Hmm.
the Targaryens who are heirs to the throne, right? It's not just
Yeah.
like they're not just like at some little fair having a battle. These are like
Mhm.
motherfuckers who could be king. So
Right.
it's like a
King or
huge
Prince Balon's supposed to be the next king.
yes, it's a huge weight that is put on Dunk's shoulders in a sense that we see going it that I think leads to the end result.
Right. There's
It's
four princes involved in the fighting.
yeah,
Because
that's
Prince
crazy.
Baelor,
Hmm.
Maekar, and then the two of Maekar's sons, Arion
Yeah.
and
Darren.
Daron.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow. All right. So let's start where we start, which is they're all getting ready for the battle. This is where the interesting thing happens, which is the name of the episode is In the Name of the Mother. And we have a thing where Lionel Baratheon starts talking to Baelor, and he says something like, he basically kind of says like, your mom didn't like you a lot, so you'll be a good fighter, right?
No, he
Does
said
he?
No,
Oh,
he's saying that he was favored by his mother, which
mother.
is too
oh,
bad because
Yeah.
ones
oh,
that
okay.
are not loved by their mother are
Yeah. He says the
Okay.
favorite
the better
son.
fighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad you did that because I was unsure if he was talking about him or his bro. So that really kind of points out his brother, right? Without saying it, who is fighting on the other side. Doesn't that? Because then if he's
Well, I
saying
mean,
you were
there's
your mother's favorite,
four or five boys, so
true, but
Yeah.
in the context of what we're watching, it would be
right.
you could surmise that if you say the mother didn't like you and your brother's on the other side, he's kind
Yeah.
of like making a joke here, like that is his way in a sense. But it also plays into the story with Dunk as well and how he wanted to stay behind to try to find his mother
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and the whole thing of the seven. But also, how does it play into this battle itself or the seven? What does the mother represent in the seven?
Oh, let's do some quick Googling.
That's what I was about to do. I was like,
I
I
was
don't
just, I'm
know.
sorry, I was just thinking about it spontaneously because that is obviously part of the title as well, right? It
Um,
refers to many mothers.
she's goddess of fertility and compassion, um, embodying, concept of love, mercy. Um,
Interesting.
and we can't forget that the soldier they come across in the flashback is basically calling for his mother,
Yes, that's true
as
too.
well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's definitely here. But
Mercy.
I think, yeah, compassion and mercy is
Mhm.
something interesting
Interesting.
about this as well, considering kind of what happens at the yields.
Yeah. And considering too, that is a lot of what Baylor had for Dunk. He showed him compassion
Hmm.
and mercy,
Yeah.
right? and he felt as though his asshole nephew did not act that way, and he was without honor,
Yeah.
you know? So that's interesting. Um, it's so sweet, the little interplay between Dunk and Egg at the beginning when he gives him his lance and he's like, "You best be here when I get back. I'll hunt you down."
Yeah.
That
Like a
was so
dog. And he's like,
cute.
woof, woof.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
funny.
Yeah, it was
that was
cute.
so cute. You know what? I just realized that this episode has overwhelmed us so much that usually we will ask our guest what they felt of the season so far. And we did not have a
Oh,
chance
yeah.
to do
We
that. It
did
just
not.
occurred to me, Jenny. We will continue because we're right at the beginning. But what are your thoughts so far entering into this? Because we take for granted that you're loving this because we kind of know, I think, that you are
I
enjoying
mean,
it.
I
But
enjoy it for
yeah,
sure. I don't know that like I love it as much as you do. Like thinking, I don't know if I think that it's like the best of the adaptations because I haven't, there's only been 5 episodes of it. Like I
sure.
can't judge it when there's only been that little of it so far. But I do like it. The music for me, I don't love the musical changes, but I don't hate it either. It's very different. So it has taken me a little bit of adjusting to get into that. But I do enjoy this show a lot. I think it's been fun. They've stayed fairly true to the novellas, but added to it in meaningful ways that, just add more to the story and to George's world and don't take away from what he's written on the page. So I've been enjoying it, and I think that the actors that they've gotten, as usual, are amazing. I haven't. I gotta say, when Andy was talking last week about the guy who plays Raymond Fossaway, I think the sounding like Kit Harington, and he does. He sounds just like Kit Harington. Like I don't think of him as any kind of like relative of Jon Snow, but he the way his accent, the way he's speaking is like just exactly the same. Like he uses like the same way that he forms the words and everything. It's not just the accent. It's very and their tonality is very similar too.
Yeah,
So I noticed that too. So you are not wrong, Andy. He does sound like Jon Snow.
Jon
Um,
Snow.
but I think they did an amazing job so far, and I have really been enjoying it. I don't have bad things to say. I mean, I have nitpicks here and there, but that's with most shows, right?
Yeah, of course. Awesome. Awesome. Good. I just wanted to get that out of the way because I was all of a sudden remembering like we got it.
No worries.
We figured you liked it, but
Yeah.
it's good to hear about it. Yeah, I'm not ready to say that I think it's the best of the three shows. I love all these shows. I just
Hmm.
think it's equal in the quality
Hmm.
that I had my expectations every
Yeah,
week
that expectation has
are
definitely been
Yeah.
met for me anyway,
out.
because it's like the production,
Yeah,
yeah,
crazy.
quality is great.
Everything together is so great. It's just man, that's what gets me so nervous about this freaking Netflix, Paramount, like all that stuff. It just makes me nervous because HBO is the best, you know? Like I just want everyone to take care. I really don't give a shit about movie theater. I care way more about HBO than I care about movie theaters. That's
Well,
just how I
we
feel.
we've talked about it. I mean, you've talked about it a lot with various different people over time, but when they switched when Warner Brothers bought it and then they decided to call it Max, and before that we had the HBO Max and HBO Now and HBO
Yeah.
Plus, and like there were so many different names for it. And guess what? They went back to HBO because calling it Max was dumb.
Well, that's true. But in general, all that was just bullshit. They didn't change
Yeah.
the programming. That
Right, they
doesn't
didn't.
matter. The programming
Right. And
continued.
and and
Yeah.
and that's the thing, like what you're saying. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, totally. All right, so let's jump in. We're starting out here. We get to see both our teams. Some beautiful shots. The fog is rolling in. Oh, it's looking beautiful. The guy calls out you know, our bloody ritual. We will have everybody starts puking.
I know that's our shocker for the episode.
There had to
Blech.
be something like that.
A lot of puking
Um,
in this episode.
and now the one thing was, I thought that Egg like goes and sits up in the thing. I thought he would be down there handing his thing to him or something. Shouldn't he be down there helping?
This
Or is
is
he too
basically
little?
a melee,
Oh,
so
okay. So
Yeah.
no.
there's no, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I get it. It's not as when they're going back and
Right,
forth.
right.
It's
Yeah.
just keep on hitting each other until people
Yes.
give up or can't
Yes.
get up
Yes.
anymore.
Or
Okay,
die.
that makes sense. That makes good sense. But this whole thing to start it off and the point of views looking through the helmet, all that, this was like freaking amazing. This was like at the
Yeah.
Olympics when they're doing the drone shots on this. Didn't it remind you of that?
Yeah, actually.
It
Yeah.
totally reminded me of that. It was
I haven't
awesome.
watched any of the Olympics this year. Shame on me,
Whoa.
I know.
Really? No, you haven't been watching the Olympics, Jenny. Oh
Mm-mm.
gosh, I love the Olympics. Olympics is awesome. What did you think of this opening battle stuff, Jenny?
I thought it was it. I noticed something. So it was funny, not funny. It was interesting to me because I didn't remember from the books him taking that lance right away, like being stabbed with the lance right away. I didn't remember that. And I was like, damn. And then when he fell and shortly, like moments later, I didn't notice it the first time, but his brand new shield got broken right away. And I was so sad because it was so beautiful. But the
Yeah,
opening stuff was crazy. It
yeah,
reminded me actually, a lot of the battle stuff especially there at the beginning, reminded me of the Battle of the Bastards. The way that that was filmed, that's the one
yeah.
where with Kit Harington at the
Oh,
end, and
we
he's like
know.
trying to climb up
Yeah,
out of the people. I
Oh.
mean, that kind of not exactly like that, but that kind of
claustrophobic.
like yes, claustrophobic feeling that it gives you, and crazy just chaos all around, and like you don't know where to look, and your head's ringing, and all of the
Yeah.
craziness. So it was good. It was filmed well, and yeah, it showed it gave a good representation of, I guess, what that would be like, other than the
Yeah.
actual physical feeling of it. I'd rather not think about that.
Oh God. It reminds you of like World War I trenches shit, or
Mm-hmm.
or like Revolutionary War, like when they talk
Mm-hmm.
about like Antietam or something like that, right? Like the blood, it took months for the blood to get out of the soil, or it just like
Oh.
brutal shit. But also, you know what? It reminds you of the frailty of life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like how what led up to this. Like why it makes you question why this is happening. When that all that's happening, there is some part of me that's like, why are they doing this? Why can't they just stop? You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
they can't. What were you gonna say, Gina?
I was going to say, well, eventually they do stop, but the way, like, it could have just kept going, but Dunk was the one he looks around and he's like, well, no one else like needs to die. And he gave mercy to,
Ah, that's good. Dunk with
he,
the mother.
Arian.
yeah, he gave mercy to Prince Arian. And so that's when he drags him over and says, tell them.
Yeah.
That was great, by the way. But he's like, we can all stop fighting now. This
Yeah.
is done.
Oh, jeez. But it was, yeah, it's so brutal. And it gets there so quickly and like you were saying, Jenny, so chaotically, shot so well. And when he sees that his shield is broken, he just kind of has to throw it down, right? Like he can't, it's not helping him anymore. But there's kind of like I don't know how to say, it's like because that shield represents what's her name? Tanzel, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But also Rafe, who might kind of remind him, those two remind him, right? And he almost has to like discard it and go on for himself. I don't know. I found there was something interesting in the way that shot was very prominent, that it was kind of meaningful. Um, but it's not too quick that we're into the fighting that that Dunk is smacked in the fucking head and we just hear get up, and then we're transported back in time to, you say, how old? Yeah, she's 20 years old. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, she does not look 20 years old, but what do I know? I was talking about this with Amy the other day. The older I get, the less I can tell how old people are. Like, I don't know that I can tell the difference between like a 15-year-old, a 20-year-old, or like a 33-year-old. I don't know if I could tell the difference.
Well, think of it
She's
this
an
way.
actress though, too.
All the actors on Bridgerton that were basically playing like teenage girls were in their 30s when they started playing those
Or at least
roles.
late 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s. Like those ladies are now pushing 40. So, and they're still like, "Oh, we're, not even married yet, on the shelf at
Oh.
20 type of thing." So, I just think there's a big range, but I was saying about 12, that she was about 12, because I think there's still a question mark on how old Dunk really is. Like, I don't think, like, maybe he's 20 at this point, but
Hmm.
he might even be slightly younger and just be one of those big, big guys, that looks like he could be older.
Hmm.
Um,
That's interesting because remember,
yeah,
remember, Catfish thought he was way older
yeah,
than Tansel. And I was like, I think they're about the same age. And
yeah,
so did my wife
Yeah.
thought they were
I
about the
think
same age too.
I agree with Gina that Dunk looks like he's around 20 in the now time, but I think he's supposed to, in the books anyway, he's like 17 or so.
Okay.
Um, so looking 20 would be in line. But in the flashback scenes, like to me, they do look, I understand that the actress is 20 and the kid playing Dunk's younger self, I don't know how old he is, but he's probably older than what I think he was playing also, because they
Yeah,
looked
he's
to
probably
be
18, 19.
maybe
yeah,
12 or 13. They
Maybe.
really didn't look like they were
Okay.
playing much older than that. And
no.
also, like some of the decisions that they were making were really dumb if they weren't that young.
Well, they are in
Oh,
Flea Bottom, so
I understand, but like you
yeah.
just got busted taking his other
I
thing and
know.
like he
I
was ready
know.
to kill you. And so
Oh
you take
God.
his knife. Like, what made you think that that would be a good idea? Because what
Yeah.
do you think he's going to do to you when he finds you after you take his knife? And oh, but he did find you right away. And guess what happened? Like that just was, I saw that coming a mile away.
yeah,
But again, if you're 12, like you don't have the processing
True, true, but
yet
that's
to,
also a personality thing. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like I would have never done that at any age. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like so, and probably
Right.
would
And her
neither of you.
circumstance and everything has put her in the position where she, is that they are thieves to get by, and that's understandable, but like you don't poke the bear. Like,
Yes, that's true, Jenny. I agree. But this is a
yeah,
good point, I think, because it's really the point of their whole little adventure together, right? I mean, it's all leading up to her getting killed,
mhm.
and then we meet Sir Huge Cock, and he comes out and helps Dunk, and it leads to what happens there, right?
Mhm.
So, wait, that's his name, isn't it? Is his
I'd
name
forgotten
Sir
about his.
SER Hugecock, Sir Hugecock? But it's like she is really propelling things. Dunk is kind of going
Right,
along with what she's now. She's in charge here,
right.
right? Like, so she's the mind. It's there. It reminded me of what's that guy where it's like, more please, sir. More. What's
Oliver.
that? Oliver, right? Like when he gets with the gang of like ruffians or whatever, like trying to find someone to lead them, you know? But
Mhm.
I feel like she's kind of the leader. That's kind of, even Egg too was kind of leading Dunk, right? Like he's a guy
Yeah.
who, and then Sir Huge Cock's leading Dunk. And
Yeah,
when
I
does
think
Dunk lead
his
Dunk?
tendency is to be a follower, not a leader,
Yes,
and it's hard
totally.
for
Well,
him to have to lead himself.
And
Yeah,
and one of the things they fought about was, he's like, well, what if my mom comes back for me? And she's like, if
exactly.
you want a family, find a family. But that's his way of finding family is her. It's Sir Huge
Yeah.
Cock. It's Dunk
Yep.
even. Like he doesn't want to be alone. So he's like kind of choosing his own family kind of along the way. And he's happy to follow,
Yeah.
you know?
I think that's beautiful, and I think that's okay too, right?
Yeah.
But at some point though, because of this world, how harsh it is, he has to, it forces him, the circumstances now, for him to stand up, right? And that's the
Yeah.
whole get up, get up, get up thing, is not just get up and wake up. It's get up and take control of your life. No one's going to do it if you don't do it,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
also this responsibility that he might feel like because he didn't do anything, then she died, right? He couldn't save her. He
Yeah.
couldn't save Sir Hugecock. He steps in though, and when Tanzel gets her finger broken, he does stand up. But
Yeah.
then where does it lead? To him getting a bunch of other people killed.
Yeah.
And that's, my friends, what happened is when you grow up in Bayonne, you write stories like this where everything is so fucking tragic, but it's beautiful, right? I mean, it's like a no win for him,
Yeah.
whichever way he goes. But the way they told this is so awesome too, like stealing the money from the dead bodies. And this is like some real, why I think too, I have to think I'm not on. This is kind of funny because when we did a lot of Game of Thrones, a lot of us were on Twitter. And since it has been taken over by Sir Tinycock, I do not go on Twitter. And I am off of it and I have no, like, there's the podcast isn't on Twitter or anything. Not that like Facebook guy is that much better, but um, I would guess that people who are read the books and book read are happy with this show because I think there's a lot of stuff like that war stuff that's in the books, right? That
Hmm.
makes it feel really alive and great and really brings home the the fucking horribleness, right, of war. Because really, I've heard so many people say that they feel in a lot of ways this whole series is like an anti-war book, right? Like an anti-war series. It shows
Yeah.
the cruelty of it and how people with power just play with the lives of smaller folk, right? So I don't know. Am I going down a road here or what?
No, no, I don't think so because at one point Rafe says something to the effect of it almost doesn't matter that the war is over. Everyone in Flea Bottom
Yeah,
is on edge and things could still get worse even though the war is over.
yeah,
She's just like they're ripe for, a ripe environment for there to be more chaos. So, yeah.
yeah, yes. Jenny, any thoughts on that?
Not really. I mean, I think that her wanting to leave is a valid choice, but and her being the leader, like that's how Dunk lives his life. Like he doesn't want to
Yeah,
lead anybody. But I don't think he really wants to go. I think he was glad that they didn't have to go, that they didn't have enough money,
mm,
and it's a sad state of affairs going on there in Westeros after the war because nothing, like you said, nothing is any better for anyone except for maybe the people who, made money selling weapons or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and I think the books and what happens at Westeros also shows, and as we see in Game of Thrones, that it's constantly at war, and the war always helps out the rich motherfuckers
Hmm.
and the young, the war pigs, as they say, as Ozzy once said.
And
And
inflation. Like
yeah,
they had the money to go get on the boat, but then they're like, nope, it's double the price now,
yeah, because everybody
So,
wants to go.
yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
yeah. Well, that's I remember my old professor, Mr. Powers said, you always look for it. War makes money. right? It
Yeah.
gets the businesses going, gets everything working, gets everyone together. But even like the little hovel they like live under the floorboards of this like little house kind of
Yeah.
farm, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's so interesting.
When
And
the
when they
guy
talk, oh, go ahead.
when the guy told her that the price doubled, I kind of wanted Rafe Dunk to tell her to
She
go
should
on her
go. I
own.
know.
But then I thought
Yeah.
about it too, that like that wouldn't have been good because she would have been a small girl on her own. What would have happened to her? Nothing good.
Yeah.
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 So,
Totally.
I mean, anyway, continue. Sorry.
No. And nothing good does happen because what is the dude that kills her? What's his name? I didn't catch his
His
name
name
in the
is
show.
Alistair. They said it a
Alistair.
couple of
Okay.
times, but on
Thank you.
IMDb it says Alistair City Watch, which
Oh,
I thought was funny.
Oh.
And then
well,
the fact that he's in the City Watch and he's
yes.
missing a hand, which means he probably had it cut off for being a thief. I'm like, you hire thieves in the City Watch. Okay.
But don't you think that's interesting though, Jenny? Because for me, I thought that was part of the reason why she keeps doing this is because she is antagonizing this motherfucker. She's like, you're trying to tell us what to do? Like
Hmm.
you're in charge, you know? And I think that works
Yeah,
into
but
the
he kind of
whole
is in
tragic.
charge.
It could have been
Unfortunately,
who's
you're right.
who's
Yeah.
City Watch too. Like
Yeah.
there might have been dual City Watches in the battle
That's
between
true.
the houses. So he could have been with the Blackfires, which were, among the more kind of common folk. So, we'll create our own City Watch because we were wronged by the other City Watch type of thing. So I could see him
Yeah.
being on like the B team versus the A team.
Yes. And again, I love all that because the fact that they kind of give him not only a background as an individual, but within the context of what's happening in the society too, is what makes this show and these books and everything so fucking cool.
Yeah.
But what's not fucking cool is when dickhead Alistair decides, I'm done fucking with these kids. I'm just going to slit her throat, which is
Ugh,
disgusting and tragic and awful. But we all knew it was coming, unfortunately,
yeah.
because that is this world. And this kid, his name is Bamber Todd, who plays Young Dunk. I mean, the casting on this show is extraordinary. Extraordinary. He's just shocked and then he just gets angry, right? And he does try to
Mhm.
fight back, right? Like,
Yeah.
and there's nothing he could have done because it happened so quick. He came
Yeah.
up right behind her. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing he
Right.
could have done.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Um, and he was warning her too,
He
right? He
was.
was
Yeah.
warning
Like you
her.
need to just leave that guy alone.
Yeah, he knew what was up. But then, of course, Sir Arlen jumps out, put that young boy down. I won't call him Sir Big Cock now because he's heroic. And he was heroic though, right? We learned something new here, right?
He
Like,
was
Yeah.
stumbling drunk and still managed to
Yeah.
fight like a
Protect
crazy
him.
person. He
Yeah.
was good.
yeah, yeah. He was actually really good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was quite a swordsman. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I have to get those in as
Well, he
much as I
cut
can.
when he sliced the guy's head
Head
off, and
off.
then the
Yeah.
pig
It's
was
like
like,
That was great. But
gross.
remember, doesn't the pigs remind you of when Arya and Hot Pot when they were all trapped at where was that? The burnt down castle? And then what's his name?
Harrenhal.
Harrenhal. Yeah.
Harrenhal, right? And Tywin showed up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Remember the pigs were snorting and they kept on had the animals around them. That's what that
Yeah.
reminded me of. I felt like that was like kind of a callback or
Reminded me
Yeah.
more of Deadwood and
oh
the
God.
Chinaman and his pigs.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That's what
Deadwood.
they called him. Sorry, I'm not trying
Yeah.
to like
Oh,
use
we
a.
know, yes. It's all good. Oh, Deadwood is such a good one. I was just actually thinking about rewatching Deadwood, but you have to pay so close attention to like those soliloquies in that show are crazy. Anyway, let's get back to it. She gets killed, and these dudes, Alistair and his pal, get killed too.
Mhm.
Alistair gets it to the throat, and then we have a beautiful sequence, silent but for the weather and drunk, crazy ramblings that I don't know what is
It
speaking
says
High
singing,
Valerian.
it
No,
says
he was
singing in Dothraki
Dothraki.
in the
Oh,
captions.
Yeah. I don't really call that
nice.
singing,
That's
but
That was one of
awesome.
my nitpicks.
he was like on, I feel like it was like, a medieval acid trip of some sort. I mean, he might have just been drunk, but it kind of reminded me of what is it? Those people like go, they drink the potion with the shaman and they
Oh,
have like a
yes.
massive trip.
Hiawatha or something
I
like
think,
that.
yeah, I
Ayahuasca.
think
Oh,
that's
let me
it,
tell
huh?
you
I
something.
think that's kind of what it felt like to me
Oh
watching.
my God. I don't want to waylay this convo too much, but when I was working at public access station in Durham, we were hired to shoot a musical concert that turned into people speaking in tongues and like
Wow.
laying down and like like convulsing in the like I had no idea this was going to happen. I just thought they were getting into it. And then all of a sudden, I hear next to me, Spike, and then someone's like, it's in her. And like people are going nuts. And let me tell you something. It was one of the craziest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. It was
Wow.
what human beings will do, folks. And as we see in this show too, but sometimes the nice things that human beings will do because eventually I guess he really has no choice but to but to kind of help Dunk because
Yeah.
he seems to be what finally gets it is his sickness from drinking like some bad water, right? He's
Yeah,
just
but
lying down in the road.
I think that him being stabbed in the leg with that spear, he
Yes. Oh,
probably
yeah.
has some infection. Plus,
Yeah.
yeah, then he got sick from drinking the brackish
Yeah,
water,
totally.
and then yeah,
Ooh,
I think he
brackish.
was not doing well at all. I will
No.
say I did enjoy the whole montage, but the singing in Dothraki part took me out of it both times that I watched it. It was a whole minute and 36 seconds of him singing in Dothraki. It was too much. It was a choice that I would not have made.
I think there's a reason also why this is the first time we've heard singing in Dothraki.
I
Like,
know. I'm
and
hoping
there's a
that there's
reason
gonna
why.
there
Hopefully
has
there's
to
no
be a
more.
reason, because if they don't give me a reason why he was singing in Dothraki, like was he over in Essos? Was he fighting for Daemon Blackfire and in the rebellion or something? Like
Oh,
because how else would he even know Dothraki?
Well, it's
Like,
part of
why
it.
does he know Dothraki?
I
But
love that you
also,
want to
it
know
just was
this.
too long.
I,
It
I
was
love
too
that. I
long.
think it's
I
great.
love the montage, but I could have done without, like, I could have, like, their little guitar strumming music that they like to play. I'd have been happy with that. Anything but that was a lot for me.
Well,
Okay, I'm done with my rant.
apparently,
and
I
right.
have to say, I was so taken with the emotion of what was happening and also the I was kind of like the relentless beauty of it that they just kept going. Like she died, but then he just followed him and it didn't stop.
Yeah,
They
I liked
didn't,
what
you
was
know what I mean?
happening
Like,
visually. I did.
yeah, yeah. I didn't really, that kind of soothed me into almost a trance of him because I kind of worked for me. I don't know. I dug it, but that's okay, Jenny. We will note that and we will
No
set,
Dothraki singing.
hopefully people are out there are watching, they know next time, or maybe the HBO
No,
can
I'm
create an
guessing that
alternate
that's
cut for
probably
you.
something that either you loved it or you didn't love it.
I thought it was
I
pretty
don't think
cool.
that, yeah, you liked it. I did not like it. I liked the scenery. I liked what was going on visually. I just didn't like the
Yeah.
Dothraki nonsense.
Gosh, some of these shots are just, this show is freaking out of control.
It
Oh,
is
and then how
gorgeous.
about when he accidentally stabs himself when he's sleeping?
That was funny.
That's what happens when you go on a Dothraki singing
Stupid
acid
old
trip,
fool.
But
Yeah.
that was like, that to me was why I was almost, it's like he had no choice himself too. Like he kind of almost was realizing, hey, I'm going to need this kid. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I
I'm
could
not
use
getting
Yeah,
any
this
because
kid.
I'm
younger.
assuming he buried
Yeah.
his squire. I
You
mean,
Could
he
know,
be.
buried somebody. Somebody was there that he
yeah,
buried, and he didn't have a squire with him. So,
that's interesting. Let me ask you this before we're propelled back into this fucking, let's see, because I was trying to see it's once they get back to the battle. I like when I can do this and kind of time it out. It's like 24 to, oh, it's like a straight 10 minutes or so. Oh no, it's about 24 to 32. The next battle. It's like, gosh, but that's relentless too. Do you need to see any more of that relationship, Jenny,
which relationship?
between Sir Hugecock and Dunk?
I mean, we only have one more episode this season. I would imagine if we see any more with Sir Arlen, it will be minimal in the next episode. I don't think we'll have a lot more.
Even going forward in the series or
In the
what? Do you
series,
feel
I
like
mean,
there's more to be
we may
told?
not. It depends on what's relevant to the stories,
Oh,
you know,
that's
Yeah.
true.
because
We could always get it. Yeah.
yeah.
I think we will, because this is a flashbacky kind of
Hmm.
show in
It does
ways
seem
that
to
no
be. Hmm.
others have been,
Hmm.
So I would say, yeah, we'll probably see this guy again. He's giving Dunk advice and urging from the beyond at this point. And it's,
Interesting.
laying out the story and the history.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking about it because I kind of would like to see it. I kind of like that, you know? I like that in father and son kind of story and this. I really love the chosen family
Yeah.
aspects of this show, which I think are
Hmm.
really beautiful. But anyway, we get back to the battle, and what can you say? It's a fucking battle. Dunk
Ugh.
takes one to the eye.
Dude, he's just
Um,
like, I was like, I know he lives, but this does not look
yeah,
good.
I
yeah,
was
I
trying to
know.
count how many times Arian stabbed him.
For a second, I thought to myself, wait a second. I was like, I know I can't remember anything. I didn't remember any of this from when I listened to this. I probably was really high or fell asleep. But I was like, the other stories don't take place in like Egg's mind, do they? Like, because he looks like he's gonna die. Like I thought something, but then it kind of it was a callback to the guy under the horse a little bit. Like give him right, like he had to give that one last
Mhm.
thing. But I don't know. I just thought this battle again, the way it was shot and just the brutality of it, the chaos, and just you can feel how many. It reminded me also of what's the Lee Marvin movie that Payback that they did with Mel Gibson. You remember that? That's the movie where he just gets his ass kicked the entire film. Famous for that.
Sounds like it's good for a rewatch.
It's a great movie. Yeah. In more ways than one, right? But that's it.
No.
Both of them were good. The original is awesome too, but that's like a movie. It's just like he just keeps on getting his ass kicked over and over and stab. How many? When he gets stabbed like 7 times or something.
So I wrote down he got set first with the lance, then twice in the side quickly with the dagger, and he digs it in, through the hand with the dagger, then with the sword in the back, with the sword in the front, thrown sword at the leg, then through his eye slit. So that's at least however many Gina
That
just
that
put up
Eight.
on her
that was
fingers.
8.
I was thinking
S-
seven would have been, poetic for the seven battle of the seven,
Yeah.
the
Oh.
seven gods, but
So yeah, that it was a lot.
Wow.
And then I
Interesting.
after that I wrote poor egg. And then Arian's big mad
big
Yeah.
because
man.
Dunk has lost everything but the will to survive. Back to his flea bottom days, beating the fuck out of Arian with his own shield was priceless.
That was good.
Yeah.
Oh
Good
That
yeah,
was
notes.
Tyrion moments when he
yeah,
That's
like
good
killed
yeah.
that
notes.
man with the shield.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
yeah.
Thank
yeah,
you. I knew there was a callback to that with
yeah,
the because it's also the way he turns it before he does it
yeah,
to get it right. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So he's getting him on the hard part. That was, and also that's a callback to his shield, and you know what
yeah,
I'm saying, like
Yeah.
what he did to her. So, that's that. The whole thing was just fucking crazy, and the crowd stuff. And then we do get to see. Okay, I was reminded. Um, we had a YouTube comment that I was reminded that the red-haired girl, the redheaded woman with the red haired guy were in the first episode. That was one of the first people that Dunk talked to, remember? When he
Mhm.
came into the fair. So
Oh,
that's why
that's
they were
right.
The
showing
lady of
her
the night.
last
Yeah.
She was one of the
episode.
sex workers.
Yeah.
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 Exactly. And she stands up and yells,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and God, the look on Egg's face is just, oh God. And
He's really
also, you know
worried.
who else looks worried the whole time is Lord Ashford, because he's like, this fucking tourney did not turn out the way I thought it would. This is
What a
Right.
fucked
shit
up.
show. My poor
Like,
daughter's birthday celebration's a
yes.
The heir
bust.
to the throne died.
Yeah. It's like seriously. And his
Yeah.
whole plan to make money off of Dunk and do the whole that went nowhere, right? Like it's totally destroyed by the Game of Thrones, right? Like the
Yeah.
big guys and it makes him look worse now too, because he's just going to think of all the songs that are going to be written about how dumb he is that Baylor died at his fucking tournament, right? Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
that doesn't look good for him.
Yeah.
Um,
He did look relieved once it was over. He's like, oh,
yes.
my God.
But eventually Arion does give up. At first he says I kneel, but he's quiet, right? And then Dunk has to drag him
Yeah, that he
over
yields.
into in
Yeah.
front of everyone. And also it's kind of like I really felt what you were mentioning earlier, Gina. At this point in time, Dunk is looking around and what he's is like, I want this to end. I don't want anyone else to get
Yeah.
hurt. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And the first thing he asked too, did anyone else die? When
Yeah.
they get back into the little hangout section. Um, and I think you mentioned a couple people, but I don't, do we find out what
Humphrey,
happened to?
Humphrey and Humphrey, Harding and
Oh, okay.
Beesbury.
Yeah.
But we don't find out about Baratheon, do we?
I think
No,
Baratheon
I
is
think he
okay.
lives. Yeah,
Okay.
I think he
We see him
lives.
fall off his horse, but we don't see any,
Yeah,
but
Makar did that.
yeah. So eventually, of course, we get this scene where Baylor's there and he's kind of talking to him, and Dunk gets down on his knees and he's like, I want to be a knight for you. And he's like, you are my, you'll
You're
be
my
in my
man.
service. You're my man.
Yeah.
And then he's like, by the way, my hands feel like wood and and blah 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 blah. And then he'll
Yeah.
take off his helmet and half his fucking brain is caved in.
Oh.
Which this is like I've seen this in movies before. Haven't you seen this before where like half the person's head is gone and they're
Yeah.
like, I feel weird. And then you
Yeah.
read actual accounts and that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if
Like it
he
takes a
like
second.
it was, yeah, well, it was the helm was holding his brain together and his
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
skull on his brain.
Thank you.
When
That's a
they
great
took the
point.
helm off,
You see
the piece of the skull came off, and yeah,
or it was
Oh,
smashed in. It was, I
Yeah.
don't know, it was a mess.
Regardless, yes, it was.
okay.
Because
Thank
he
you,
said
Jen,
if he got the
for
mace to the
clarifying
back
that.
of the
Yeah.
head,
Good
which would
job.
Yeah.
have been a big
Mhm.
thonk.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Thank you, Jenny. That
gross.
was amazing. That
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
you're right. That was kind of keeping his brains in. But then he also said before, must have been my brother's
He said it was his
mace.
brother.
Yeah. He's very
So
strong.
Mhm.
we'll find out who it was that took him out, I guess. I don't
I
remember
think,
anything, so
yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens in the next episode. But Baylor is dead, and also you see that Dunk calling back to when he's holding Rafe
Yeah.
earlier. It's he feels the responsibility of it all on
Yeah.
him. It's if he hadn't have done that, if he hadn't have stood up against him, none of this would have happened.
Yeah.
So what an episode.
Yeah.
Just heart-wrenching and beautiful. I don't have a negative thing to say. I honestly, I watched this morning with my wife. I only watched it once too. I didn't even have time for a
Yeah.
rewatch today. And this was one of the best episodes of TV. I'll say it again. I've seen in a long, long time. From beginning to end, it's nearly perfect. I don't know any way, except for more Dothraki singing. I don't know any way this could have been better.
Shut up, Axel. The Dothraki singing can go. But
Yeah.
other than that, it was very, very good.
It was good. I was
Yeah.
at first, I was a little when they jumped to the flashback and he was knocked out. I'm like, if all we're getting is this frickin' flashback in this episode, I'm gonna be pissed. Fortunately,
I
he
did. I did.
get
Yeah.
up.
Oh,
Because I was
that's
like,
true.
really? I was like, oh my God, how long is this flashback going to be and why? And then it all made sense. But at first I was like,
I
they
was
did a good
sincerely
episode.
hoping that they were going to go
Yeah.
back to
I was
the
like,
tourney.
they had such a good episode last time and now they're pooping the bed with this. And then they pulled it together. But for a while I was like, it better not end right when he wakes up. And thank God it didn't.
Yes. I'm trying to bring up our Facebook page here because we had a lot of people comment, and Kelly said the same thing, that when it went to the flashback, it was kind of like disappointing, like, oh no, are we gonna not get to the fight? And I kind of felt the same thing too, but I didn't even remember I felt that way until I read her comment,
Mhm.
because the story took me so, it just grabbed me right from the beginning that I kind of forgot. And then when they went back to the fight, I was like, oh, we're going back to the
Yeah.
fight. Okay. I forgot that there was a fight. Like, I don't know. That's why I just felt like it just was, it was pretty perfect. Let me read a couple other ones. Juan says, at first, the placement of the flashback was a little abrupt, but once I understood what they were going for, it increased the stakes even higher, as if we needed more story to make us realize how much we love Dunk. It was brilliant, and best of all, no fart joke to take us out of a scene. This was a perfect episode, more so that they Ned Starked us. Amy says, wow, that was a lot of grossness. That said, it's pretty cool how they told a lot of story in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Jeff said, felt like I was taking a mace to the face. Mace to the face blows as they happened. Superb point of view cinematography. Flashback was amazing storytelling, liked how it was placed. It was basically the last time Dunk lived real tragedy with the consequences and showed how he knew what was coming in the Battle of the Seven. The last scene with Baylor hit me the same way as a similar scene in Breaking Bad did. No words, just a big, oh damn, this
Oh.
just got
I
crazy.
I know what scene he's
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
And I was actually thinking of that when you're like, you've seen these things with people's like half their heads missing. I
Yes.
remember that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know what he's exactly what
Walking,
he, okay,
and
okay,
then he
yes.
turns.
Oh, oh, okay.
You know,
I thought he was
ding,
talking
ding,
about a
ding.
different emotional death, but I know exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And also, yeah, our boy Jeff, going back to the Lost Days. Kevin Centazzo. That was a masterclass in theatrical television. I'm emotionally spent from watching it. There were so many times when I had my heart in my throat, only 5 episodes in, and I'm fully invested. Something House of the Dragon struggled to do for me. And of course, Andy has to chime in. This has already easily surpassed House of the Dragon for me. High level storytelling and production, plus great characters. I already care about every character more in this show than any of them in 2 seasons of Hot D. Um, and he continues, this episode just reinforces everything I said on the podcast last week. This is already superior to House of Dragon. Only 5 episodes. I care about every character. Plus, the battle was absolutely incredible. And of course, our old friend A-Hustler says, "You're beautiful and tragic." Wow. Yep, fire. And they had a little fire emoji. Amy Archer from Little Miss Recap says, I loved it. Oh yeah, and Kelly says, I guess we have our Ned Stark of the series gone too soon. Josh has a little uh GIF, or what do old people say? GIF or GIF? Which makes me sound older. I want to say the worst one.
I don't know. I'm
GIF.
old and I say GIF.
Oh, there we go. He said it says absolute cinema, which is what the kids say these days.
Absolute cinema. Okay.
Yeah, they say that. They say cinematic.
Oh.
And then they go, that was pure cinema.
And then they go 6, 7.
6, 7. and then they go bussin'. Um,
Riz.
yeah, they're
Sorry.
tripping the Riz bombs. All right, so thank you everyone for chiming in, and all of those comments came in like the last 45 minutes to an
Wow.
hour because people were jazzed to want to express about this episode, and I agree with them. Um, there was something else I have in the back of my mind I can't remember, but Gina, anything else you wanted to say about this episode?
Um, I don't think so. The only like one more thing I want to call out is we've seen Dunk stand over dead people a few times now, and he either says, I don't have the words or he's sorry. And I hope we don't see more of that next episode, but we might. We might. I don't know.
Oh,
Just like
uh-oh.
that's his dealing with death is he doesn't have the words or know the words or he's sorry. And there's just like, I think he just takes it very personally. And I think again, that's why he like drags, you know, Prince Cranky Pants. Oh, we did not talk about how Dunk practically cut his dick off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
he got him real high on the thigh there.
I thought that was a call back to him putting a knife to egg too. Like, that
Maybe.
Oh,
story. Like
that's
he was
awesome.
really, I totally forgot about that.
That's the same spot
Yeah,
in right. He said in
yeah,
between like the leg and the thigh, or he
yeah.
said something like that. But you know what I thought? Oh, continue.
Oh, I mean, it was just before we got to the knife at the thigh. But yeah, I think it's just, he has trouble saying goodbye. And hopefully we won't have to see him say goodbye to anyone else before the series is over, but we might. But
I
yeah.
hope not. No, I'm scared. Um, what I was gonna say before I ask you, Jenny, your final thoughts, because I did forget to say there are some consequences, perhaps, of what happened. Baylor died. Um, I thought that Arion, if I think if you get cut up there in that area, there's some major arteries there,
It's
and you
a
might
it's
bleed
a
out pretty quick.
it's a carotid artery, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I mean, he's still alive. He would have been gone, I think, if
Okay. They didn't show
he'd
him.
hit it.
Yes, that's true.
But and also we did get the conclusion of Prince Daron's dream with him over a dragon. So
That's the big,
yeah,
and like I said, the
dying in his
biggest
arms,
dragon.
basically. Yeah.
They yeah, that's oh boy, wow. Well, we'll see what happens. Jenny, any final thoughts on the
Random
podcast?
weird thing that I noticed. And I only noticed this sigil because I think Ashea had said something about it on the History of Westeros on one of their pods. But I think she said it was Stokeworth. But in the flashback, when they're going out of the city and talking, and they run down because they see someone coming, and he's got the guy draped over his horse, that they have that horse, that sigil with a cup with a lamb sitting in the cup, which I guess is House Stokeworth. But like that was really like cleanly there, and like that person went by. Why was
Mm.
that like why was that there? Because like why did they went and hid because they didn't want to get in trouble, thinking it was maybe the watch or something, I'm assuming. But why? Like, why was it that? Why did they even put that there? There had to be a reason, right? Like, they wouldn't have just. I'm just trying to figure out why they had that person there with the sigil so clearly visible. I don't think that there's any ulterior. But I feel like there had to have been a reason, kind of like the Dothraki singing. I feel like there probably is
Mm.
a reason, but I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't know.
not.
Part of me wonders if it's just callbacks to things and people we saw or didn't
Yeah.
see or had a lesser role in Game of Thrones. Because Stokeworth is Lolly's, who was
Hmm.
supposed to marry Sir Bronn. That's her house. And it's the same way with Fossaway. We only heard about them. And I've never heard Dothraki. Oh, wait. No, we did hear Dothraki singing but it was one of the widows at the Daenerys's eating of the heart. But I prefer that to Thraki singing to whatever what's his name was doing.
Yeah, to me, it seems just a deepening of the world's
Yeah.
mythology and world
Maybe
building.
that's it. It
Yeah,
just was
but I
weird
like
that
that
it
you're
was so
interested.
visible.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
Totally. It was like it held on it too.
Hmm.
I did want to give a shout out to my old friend Kim, who said that was one hell of a battle. This is back to the Facebook comments. I missed a couple. That's the thing in the back of my head. And Angie says it was a great episode. It's always a wait, what? When it ends so quickly.
I
I
know.
wish the episodes were longer. That's one thing that I don't know. I just feel like they're perfect. I do want more. I definitely want more,
Yeah.
but it doesn't frustrate me.
That's a good strategy, though, shorter, but maybe more episodes. I mean, honestly, that's what they should have done with the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones. They should
You
have
know?
done more episodes and just kept them all an hour. And it would have been, I think, more cohesive towards the end and less
Well,
complaints.
there used to be a thing called leave 'em wanting more, which
Mm.
does not seem to be around anymore. They just seem to want to give it all, everybody all the time.
Everything
Welcome to the
epic.
internet. Yes, it's epic. All right, it's bussin'. Anyway, thank you, Gina. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, everyone on Facebook. Thank you, everyone, for giving us reviews and downloading. And once again, what a beautiful episode. I think, yeah, tomorrow Andy and I are going to do the listener top tens of last year, 2025. Heath and I are continuing our journey through Idris Elba's hijacking a train. And then Amy and I will be talking about Traders. Hey, are either of you watching Traders?
No.
I will be. I just haven't started it yet.
Okay. It is so much fun.
I
And
love the traders. Alan Cummings, he makes that show.
Gina, you should watch it. It's
I
great
told her
fun.
that.
You will love it immediately. It's really great fun. And we've been covering it over on Little Miss Recap. What do you want to say? Why don't you?
I'll get to it eventually. I
Okay,
feel like I have too much on my plate
that's
to
true.
do
There is.
podcasting wise
Yes,
and
that's true.
otherwise. I'm trying to write a book this year as well, which is
Oh,
Oh,
I
wow.
love that idea.
don't worry, you won't want to read it. It's like going to be romanticy.
Oh,
Oh, I'll want to
I'll
read
read
it.
it. I'll read it. I'm romantic. Come on. I can be romantic.
Jenny's like,
Um,
No, I had
I
to
can,
cough. No, I finished the what do they call Akotar and the
oh, did you?
the
Okay.
Thumbs are, and then I'm almost done with the Assassin's Blade series, the one with
Oh,
Selena
okay.
Sardathian, which is by the same author that did the Court of Thorns and Roses, and yes,
Okay.
Fourth
All right.
Wing, and I've
Oh,
read.
Fourth Wing. That's like that's the
is
best.
that the
Okay.
Dragon Smut book?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
Okay,
yes.
I was watching, I can't remember, I think it was a British show, and someone mentioned it on the
Oh,
show. They say, is that the dragon smut or something? Like they use that term or something
They
like that.
mentioned it
What
on
I'm
was it?
Love is
Love is
Blind.
blind.
Oh, that's what it
Yes.
was.
That's on Love is
I was like,
Blind.
Was
yes,
it
Fourth
Love is
Wing.
Blind?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Love is Blind. You're right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't a British show. We must have been watching a
Yeah, it
British
was one
show
of the
before
blonde
that.
girls. I don't
And
remember which
and then
one.
the guy she's with is
Oh,
all like dissing her because he's like, I don't know, the stuff she reads. He reads all these like
okay.
philosophy
Okay.
books,
Whatever.
because he's a hot soccer star, so he has to like try and make up for it with his reading.
Oh, Lord, please don't even get into Love is Blind. That guy is Ted Bundy. Okay. That
Why
dude.
do so many of the men look the same? I was
I
like,
know.
they
I
look
know.
like they're all brothers.
I can't even, but I
That's what
love this
Minnesota
season.
was like
It's
too.
very fun. But that guy in particular he's got a story. I found something that he changed his name too, like his first and last name when he left soccer. Now it was just, there's a lot
Oh
of,
boy.
he's angling on that really beautiful girl too. He's angling on her, which she might be
Mm.
accepting because her man is yeah, we're getting into a little Love
This
is
is for
Blind.
another podcast,
It's for another
people.
pod,
We'll get
but it's very fun. We should do a Love is
a
Blind,
lot to talk
but
about.
we'll probably talk about. But I want to say, Amy and we had this guy Gibson Johns, who talks a lot about Bravo. I don't know if you ever
Mm,
listened to his podcast, but he was aw we had such a fun time.
cool.
I'm having a real blast talking about the traders. That's very fun. Still watch all, yeah, you know what? That does remind me. We are due for a little reality roundup pretty soon here on the DVR podcast network because this Love is Blind, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we need to talk about Salt Lake City that just ended, but the story seems to continue. I'll tell you guys something once we're off air. And then Beverly Hills is
Yeah,
on.
I'm
Rachel
liking
Zoe,
it.
what a breath of fresh air. Who would have known?
She just takes over the show. I was
Oh,
saying to my wife, she keeps on talking about Amanda, like Amanda just arrived, but Rachel Zoe's been there for like 10 years, right? Because she is, I mean, Rachel Zoe is pretty powerful. Did you ever watch her show?
I never did. I always resisted it. And now I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I need to go back and watch a show because
Uh,
she's kind of a delight on Housewives.
yes, that was one of the
Yeah.
first like big Bravo shows with Brad.
Well, and I didn't realize this. Sorry, listeners, but I didn't realize this, but she was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy, and he's like, you're having a great season and you seem to be really enjoying this. She's like, yeah, it's great when you don't have to do all the work. She was like EP on her show. So that was like a
Oh,
24/7
wow.
thing for her. It wasn't just like someone
It's
showing up with
interesting.
cameras.
Yeah,
So,
she does seem a lot more
yeah,
calm, even though she's going through a lot. But that
yeah,
show really showed, I mean, like I was saying, talking about my wife with it, which is like she is used to doing her job, dressing someone for the Oscars, grant, whatever it is, and then literally everyone just tearing her to shreds or loving her. Like it's a
yeah,
very high pressure
yeah,
what she does. So she is like, I don't think these women are anything to her.
yeah.
It's like,
No.
she's dealt with crazy famous people.
She's
They're
got
like
thick
nothing.
skin.
Yeah,
She's,
it's like Kathy Hilton. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
I don't know. Kathy Hilton really that she tears me in both directions because I know about her affiliations, which I'm not a fan of, but then again, she is amazing television.
Funky Dory.
She is amazing television. She's crazy. She's got
Axel,
everything in her pocketbook. Yes.
Gina and I will be recording a Bridgerton podcast with a new
Oh,
special guest,
Lady
La-
Claire, Andy's
Lady Claire.
Viscountess.
Yes.
really?
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome. When is this happening?
We're
This
recording
weekend.
this weekend, so
Oh my
I'll
God.
send you something to throw up on the feed and then
Okay.
we'll do the second drop too. We're a little
That
late to the
is,
game, but it took us a while to coordinate schedules and for me to get my act together.
this is very exciting. I can't wait for that. That's the biggest news of the day. All right. We'll end it with
Okay.
that. Thank you all for listening. Take care.